Keep these flowing along here. We got the Daily Hawaii Talks Stay
That's
Home
right.
series. This is episode 5, I believe, Sky.
I know I've watched all of them live except I only missed one, which was the Ben one live, which I regret.
Oh, well, that was a hoot. Shout out Ben Flores and
My
technology.
first favorite 10 minutes.
That was, okay, yeah.
You kept trying to say technologically inclined.
I couldn't even say
technology.
Shut me down. Yes, it was bad.
It was like, they're not tech savvy, right? I think that was what you were trying to say.
It was bad. Let me go put a comment here that you are here. I'm going to just write this in here. Welcome to yet another IG Live here. We're going to be putting this on YouTube as well. And let me just write in, and I'm going to pin the comment. People are telling me I should pin the comment to see what the topic is. So I'm going to put.
Oh, okay.
We're
just talking streaming movies today.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to post it. See, this is technology at work here. And then I'm going to pin it. And if it pins, it better pin. Yep, it's not pinning. Damn it. I'm doing a bend. It's not. I'm just supposed to hold on to this thing, and I'm supposed to hold, and it pins. Yep.
There you go.
Oh, here we go.
Technology.
I got it. Finally. All right, so different take today. I mean, rather than just the whole, we just ask you what you're doing, and you're going to tell me you're doing the laundry or something, like everybody else is. We're doing shots with some other guy yesterday.
That was the best line, right? What do you do every day? I make breakfast and I do laundry every day.
Every day. It's a lot of laundry. But besides that, let's cover something else. Everybody's stuck at home. There's only so much masturbation we can do. What about movies? Now, we're going to talk about movies that we can stream now. That's available. We're going comedies. Is that the...
Yeah, I think we specifically chose comedies based on everyone's not in the best of moods. I think everybody's probably had enough watching Pandemic on Netflix and watching whatever they're watching to depress themselves more, right?
I'm watching Tiger King. I watched the first episode. Have you watched that yet? Everybody's watching.
I just started the first episode yesterday, so no, maybe we'll do a review. On that.
It's getting my attention for one, but I don't know.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, but those kind of documentaries have been around for a while. This one's just getting the promotion that other ones don't get with Netflix, right?
Right, and plus everybody's at home. Everybody can watch it.
Everyone's at home, and everyone wants to talk about it, right?
Right. Well, how you want to break this down? What are your recommendations? How are you going to do it?
Well, kind of what I broke down is that being that me and you are old futs and we've been around the block, so to say, I picked movies out from different decades and kind of recommendations for people. Maybe, and I was thinking of maybe stuff we could tell people, maybe go revisit them. Maybe if they didn't care for it the first time, maybe go back to them now, because you remember those movies when we were growing up. They weren't always the best the first go around, but then they've actually aged really well and gotten funnier.
Right. Some of them age well, some of them don't. So
some of them have not. Oh, definitely. We can talk about like John Hughes movies that have not aged well as far as PC, right? Revenge of the Nerds. We talk about that one a lot.
That's a whole topic in itself.
Where they're like, sexually harassing women, raping them, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're the heroes, right?
Before we turn off all women that are going to possibly tune in,
I know.
Let's go into some movies here. What do you have?
So, I was thinking 1970s is a hard decade, and I was looking too online. There's not a lot of classic 70s that's like free streaming. You got to rent them.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think of, right now, like the 70s when we were growing up, that's when we were born actually, but those movies from the 70s, of course, everyone refers back to like Monty Python days, right? Because it was like...
That was the main one.
Kind of pre-SNL.
Right.
And then, like SNL kind of changed things. But one movie from the 70s that I still think is really funny.
Yeah.
It's still super raunchy and dirty is the Kentucky Fried Movie.
That's a very obscure one. Not many people know.
And it is streaming for free if you have Amazon Prime.
Okay, right. That's another service we don't hear about is Amazon Prime. Now, they have a lot of movies on there.
I think it's a super slept-on service.
All right, all kind of crazy shit's on there. And then a lot of people just refer to Netflix instead. But, so that's a good...
Amazon Prime takes the back seat to Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
because they seem to be advertising more commercially,
Yeah.
and Amazon Prime's got a ton of stuff. And if people just take the time, you got to do a little bit more searching, but there's tons of good stuff on it.
It's amazing how you can watch it directly, or you can go online and just do it that way. So they got
Oh yeah.
kind of Trump Netflix, right?
As far as selection goes, and you have the option to rent them if you don't have it to stream. If you're willing to pay the money, some
Right.
stuff is 99 cents, some stuff goes up to like $2-3.
Right, and
You can rent them in high definition and see these old movies
Right.
like
They're all
better
good.
than they ever looked.
And shout out to Amazon Prime, because there was Amazon Prime that I discovered this movie here.
That's
So
right.
this is for the people that know. Okay, I came across this not too recently ago, and it was a nuts movie. I told you about it. You got me the shirt. So
Yep.
this is the only time I'm ever gonna wear this shirt.
Yep.
So thank you, Sky, on that. But this is a crazy movie, zombies with guns. That's all I'm gonna say. From the early '80s.
We'll have to do another episode and talk about that movie.
Yeah.
And talk about like slept on horror movies maybe.
Oh, that's a ton of them. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
this is in essence a comedy. If you look at it in a certain way.
Oh,
It's
totally.
like
Because
Dawn of
it's
the
so
Dead.
over the top.
Right. But then they're biting off women's chichis. They're killing women. They're killing men. They're blowing things up. The zombies got guns, and then
Yeah, they're worse than the nerds.
yeah, zombie rape. Gosh, that's where we're going with this show. Okay, so
I
back
know.
to the '70s. So you got the Blazing
So-
Saddles. We got
Yeah, but Blazing Saddles not available anymore.
Right.
And Warner Brothers has been pulling off a lot of their classic old movies, but you can rent them.
Yeah.
You can rent all those classic Mel Brooks movies on Amazon Prime for like $2 or $3 or whatever. But they've been pulling them off. You'll notice that Warner Brothers and Columbia Pictures, Sony have been pulling all of their movies slowly off streaming services because they want to start their own streaming services.
They're doing another one, right? And that's going to be out of control. There's too many of them already.
It's already, and I don't know if you knew this already. Sony already has their crappy streaming service called Crackle.
That's Sony.
That's
Wow.
Sony.
I seen that. I was just thought some generic bullshit, but that's
We only thought of it as the shitty Nestle Crunch ripoff candy bar from the 80s.
yeah, right. I was not a fan.
That's right.
So from there, I guess we go to the 80s, or what did we?
Well, one more 70s one that, did you get to watch Dolomite Is My Name yet on Netflix yet?
No, okay, I need to watch that. Eddie Murphy.
All right.
I need to
So
watch
I think a great double feature for people to watch while they're on lockdown is watching Dolomite Is My Name, and then right after watching the original Dolomite, which is streaming for free on Amazon Prime.
that. Okay. Yeah, good call.
Great double feature. You get to me, it's better watching it in that order because it's like watching The Disaster Artist. It makes The Room that much better.
Right, that's a good pull on that. If anybody hasn't seen that, watch those doubleheader. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disaster
And
Artist in the Room. Yeah.
It totally reminded us of watching it back to back like that.
Yeah.
And it enhanced the movies. So do that. Dolomite Is My Name on Netflix, and then the original Dolomite on Amazon Prime. And Hulu has a movie that perfectly ties into the 80s and the coronavirus. Our good old buddy Tom Hanks, who's
What's he
suffering from COVID, right?
doing? COVID
And one of
trafficking, or what's he doing? He's got kid slaves or something. Everybody's attacking.
that's right.
Like what is that now? I mean, we're going off topic, but what?
Yeah, I know, but I have no idea.
Still, anybody out there know? Out there, Static? You know something about this? Tom Hanks and kids? Okay, what's the Tom Hanks movie?
So the Tom Hanks movie that only kids from the 80s remember, but it shows a different side of Tom Hanks, is Bachelor Party. Bachelor Party is streaming on Hulu right now.
Right.
And people forget about how raunchy this movie is and how raunchy Tom Hanks is in.
Yes.
This is probably his dirtiest movies ever made, right?
Right. I mean, he played that kind of frat boy in the early 80s.
Yeah.
He did the Splash.
He did Splash, yeah, Bachelor Party, The Man with One Red Shoe.
Yeah, so he was kind of playing that guy, that sexually deprived guy.
A lot of people forget he was like in Volunteers with John Candy. He was kind of like a scoundrel in that one, right? He's always trying to bang Rita Wilson, right?
Well, he won.
He won that game.
I thought you were gonna say like The Burbs, like Tom Hanks, The Burbs as one in the 80s.
I think Tom Hanks, The Burbs was like the beginning of the 90s where he was doing like Joe versus the Volcano, and he was becoming more of a mainstream guy.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I think Bachelor Party was post Bosom Buddies.
Okay. right after that time.
So it was still kind of sex comedy days. And people forget that Bachelor Party is from Neil Israel, who went on to do like Hot Shots, and he
Right.
was a part of like Naked Gun and
Right. It was all that time frame, right? So that makes a
oh
lot.
yeah. So that to me is a kind of a weird movie for I think the millennials to see a different side of the nicest guy in Hollywood, Tom Hanks.
Oh, Tom Hanks, possibly raping women, and
That movie's got cocaine, bestiality.
that's right.
It's got
They were a time, weren't they? They just let it all hang out.
that movie is
Yeah.
heavy duty, man.
They did not care.
Transvestites, right?
I mean, there was a ton of movies like that. Ton of movies we can refer to like teeny bopper movies. You got the Meatballs. You got Porky's.
Right.
You got a ton of these. Revenge of the Nerds was bad, but it was a
Right.
mainstream one. I mean,
Right.
down the line, it was. I don't know how they did it. It's
I
amazing.
don't know how they did it either.
Police Academy. I mean, Police Academy had all the gay innuendo. I mean, it's just
Oh,
crazy. They cover
totally.
every little offensive thing, and they're trying to remake these movies now. There's no way in hell.
Oh yeah, they can't do it.
That kind of stuff.
They can't make it like the 80s. So speaking of, I'm glad you brought up Police Academy because I want to encourage all of our listeners and our friends to do the Police Academy challenge. And I challenged you about this earlier. Is what's a better movie, Police Academy 1 or Police Academy 2?
Come on.
In First Assignment,
Time
right?
shit. I told you. Bottom line is Police Academy 2. Bobcat Goldthwait is in Police Academy 2. That's it. Shut it down.
Game over.
You got Zed. You got the Archies. You got Jughead. You got the
Yeah,
Zoo
you got Woodchuck, Sweet Chuck, excuse me.
Chucks in there. I mean, holy God. Really?
So Netflix has all 6 Police Academy movies.
I don't
Actually,
get
7 if you count Mission to Moscow.
I can't. I refuse to watch that. I refuse to watch that.
But they're all on there. But I would urge our friends to watch both of those and tell us which they think is better.
I'm sorry. I can't see how that is going to be a valid debate. It's you got the
Hey,
cast.
if I lose, I'll admit it because I stand by Police Academy 1. You stand by Police Academy 2.
There's so many great lines in Police Academy 2. I mean, it's so much shit.
I know. We don't have time to go into them all right now.
Chef guy, right? My fish is boiling. Or your stir fry. I mean, you got great. Just that scene alone. You got Mauser running around. Okay, I don't know.
I agree. Well, let's get the guys out there to watch them and put in the comments. I can be wrong. I'll happy to be wrong on that. I just want to see what people say.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody is even giving a damn right now. But
Right. But Amazon Prime has a ton of 80s. I don't know if you've been on there recently.
a lot of obscure, weird.
Tons of stuff. So they got Clue, the movie, which I recommend to a lot of people if they haven't seen it. Clue from 1985, great, fun movie.
Alternate.
And very slept on, very underrated movie.
Can't forget Airplane. We got to mention Airplane.
Yep.
Movie that will never be remade. There's no way in hell they're remaking Airplane. That was the ultimately offensive movie. Religion,
Yeah.
sex, race. I mean, they covered it all.
Wasn't it PG when it came out too? It was PG.
It was. I think everything was PG. I don't even know what rated R was, but it was, there's no way. Yeah, they cannot remake Airplane. Police Academy, maybe, but it'll probably be lame. Blazing Saddles, they can't remake that.
Right.
Pretty much all of them. There's no way. That genre is gone. No way.
Right.
So
I agree. So some other movies they have on Amazon Prime right now that people can watch. Hollywood Shuffle. Were you a fan of that in the 80s?
That was good. Yeah, I don't know if I watch it now though. Does it still hold up?
I think half of it holds up.
Okay.
I think half of it holds up pretty well. But it was groundbreaking for like 1986, 1987.
Right.
That was like groundbreaking, right?
Right.
For actually like parodying what black actors were going through in Hollywood.
Right.
Like,
So
it was very, very sharp.
I'm gonna get you. Is another one.
Which one?
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you, sucker, which is on for rent. You can rent it for $3,
Okay.
which I think is totally worth it.
Oh yeah.
Love that. Freaking great. I argue that's a better movie than Hollywood Shuffle. Funnier.
Yeah, they had more moments, more lines.
But Hollywood Shuffle is like, he's like the KRS One. It was like the original, where a lot of his predecessors are better than him, but he's still like the Godfather. One of the Godfathers, right?
It's worth checking out. Yeah, so definitely a good recommendation.
Golden Child is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I mean, the Eddie Murphy movies.
Right.
I mean, even in stand-up specials. I mean, yeah,
Right.
he dominated the 80s.
He dominated. Delirious is on Netflix, which has a lot of very questionable material now.
Wow.
But still very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then we have some movies that I think they were guilty pleasures for me growing up as a kid. Even as a kid, I knew these were bad movies, but I still enjoyed them. Transylvania 65000 is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
Very underrated Jeff Goldblum. Very underrated Ed Begley Jr. too.
Ed Begley Jr. for the win in that one. He held that movie up. And
a very young Michael Richards.
Yeah. See, it all fits into the next movie because you can say that movie and then you can go UHF. Where Michael Richards is in there. Weird Al Yankovic is in there. So it's a very 6 degrees of separation when you put these actors in.
Big time.
Yeah.
And guilty pleasures like The Monster Squad, right? Which is a terrible movie, but really, I like it.
But as a kid, though, we all liked it as a kid. I don't know anybody as a kid that did not like that movie. But rewatching it is bad. It doesn't.
And written by Shane Black, who went on to write Lethal Weapon 1 and 2.
Well, yeah, practice.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He directed Iron Man 3. Like, the guy went on to have a good career, but you always got to start someplace, right?
Somewhere.
The Monster Squad.
So this popped into my head just now. I wanted to get to this. Maybe this is a comedy. Now, you mentioned this a while ago. John Travolta was in a movie where he plays a fanatic, right? The movie's called Fanatic.
The Fanatic, yes.
And it's directed by Fred Durst.
It's written and directed by Fred Durst.
I've just found that out today. So now I
thought I told you about it.
You told me about. I don't know if you told me about Fred Durst being the director. So you told me about the Travolta being really weird and whatnot.
Right.
Is this available for streaming?
This is available on Amazon Prime. Basically, John Travolta plays like an autistic guy who's an obsessed fan. And the guy he's stalking is actor Devin Sawa from Idle Hands. Remember that guy?
I was in there. Wow. That was
that guy.
Heartthrob.
That guy.
Yes, Devin Sawa.
And he got all buff, man. He's like he got the swole on.
To do something. Okay, so that is available. So I want to go watch that.
Yeah.
For some
it's really bad.
There's directing. So
it's like epically bad, man. And it's kind of like shows how out of touch John Travolta is with John Travolta's like, this is how mentally challenged people act. Oh. It's like John Travolta's interpretation. So it's like really offensive, man.
All right, I'll definitely go look for that. I saw that scrolling, and I saw Fred Durst. Jesus. So we're going to the 90s.
We're going to the 90s. A movie that I feel doesn't get its due from the 90s. It's on Netflix now. That I still think is really funny. Is Kingpin from the Farrelly brothers.
Oh, yeah, very underrated. Yeah.
Super underrated movie. Yeah, and he got overshadowed because their next movie was Something About Mary.
Yeah.
And then the movie before it was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
And so Kingpin just got lost, and those people kind of forgot about it.
I enjoyed that, though. I
like that movie a lot. And crazy underrated Bill Murray in that.
That is correct.
As Burt McCracken.
That's right. And then the girl who was the girl in Weird Science when they did the rebooted TV show.
Yeah, Vanessa Angel, right?
Yeah. So that's all I remember her from is Kingpin and then Weird Science, and that was
Weird Science.
Yeah, I remember that.
She probably like married like Richard Grieco or something. I don't know.
Probably like Alibaba somewhere, hanging out in the palace. But the '90s movies underrated. Then I guess we go with comedy.
So movie. I don't think it's underrated, but I think people kind of forgot about it because it was like on Hulu. They have Swingers with Vince Vaughn and Favreau.
Yeah.
Which shout out Sean Eyman. That's his all-time favorite movie. That's you ask him. That's his all-time favorite movie.
Anybody out there, you're not missing out much. But yeah. So speaking of Sean Eyman, okay, here's the thing that goes into the early '90s. We're talking about the '90s. Okay, so Blue Note emails me that Tony is coming to Blue Note.
Oh my, yeah.
But coming in like September. So this guy, for the people that don't know, this guy Sean Eyman, he loves the '90s, he loves the '80s, he doesn't want to leave. So he loves that stuff. I email him, hey, Tony's coming. And he's like, so? I'm not a fan. I'm like, what? How are you not? And this is the same guy that goes to Keith Sweat like by himself. How does this guy see? It's amazing how people have different tastes.
He just has a selective taste for the golden era of R&B.
Drama likes Tony.
I think the only song he likes from them is like "Feels Good," maybe.
Oh God! All right, everybody, got it. So,
Um,
what else? What else we got for the '90s?
oh, other
We got
night.
Three Amigos.
Oh, what happened?
We forgot Three Amigos. Should we mention that as far as the '80s? One last.
Sure.
People
It's
know.
not available streaming, but you can rent it on Amazon
Okay,
Prime.
right, okay. So we're going for like available streaming free.
I was picking out movies that people don't have to pay for
Okay, got it.
because everyone's a little bit tight on money right now.
Got it.
So I don't think people will really want to spend that extra because you're already paying for the subscription for your streaming services.
But,
So I figure they just want to just use those.
kind of provide a service, yes, for free. So what about on Netflix, like comedy wise? We got Police Academy.
I think Netflix is really stale for older stuff. They're concentrating more on new stuff.
Yeah.
And putting out less stuff. But if you go on Amazon Prime for 90s, they've got Fear of a Black Hat, which, take it or leave it, it's okay. It has its moments.
It has its moments. I mean,
They were trying to do a rapper version of Spinal Tap. They went for it.
I think that and CB4.
And then I don't know if you knew this, Amazon Prime has the first 5 seasons of Def Comedy Jam
Really?
for free. Yes,
Wow.
all 5 seasons.
That I did not know. That's worth it in itself.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I went back and watched, and you can watch like people's like historic first sets, like unbelievable.
Hey, Cannonball Run, is that available? Drama's asking here. You see
Cannonball Run is only rental on Amazon Prime.
Right. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Another one. That's another one.
Yep.
What else we got for the Netflix? Not so much the '90s then.
Yeah, that's about it. And then for '90s, I mean, you got Howard Stern's Private Parts, which I actually think is quite funny. You like that movie?
That's for free on Amazon?
That's for free on Amazon Prime right now.
Okay, that's a good one. That's always a good one.
I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
And then we're going to the 2000s.
Yeah.
So I just got to ask you real quick. I have my picks for what I feel are really kind of forgotten or underrated movies from the 2000s. Did you have any that came to mind, like right off the bat for 2000s?
See, with 2000s, it gets all cloudy.
Right.
It's that time frame in your life where like you're in your 20s, right? And I remember 90s comedies really well. I remember 80s comedies really well. When I go to 2000s though, they always seem to be misconstrued. They always seem to be like a chick flick / comedy. They don't go one lane.
I'm going to give you 2 movies. I'm going to give you 2 movies that set the tone for the 2000s comedies, right?
Yeah.
So in 1998 and 99, there was Something About Mary.
I was thinking exactly.
And there was American Pie in like 99.
And you see how they're like kind of misconstrued.
And then all of those movies in the early 2000s were all copies.
Yeah.
It just tried to copy the gross out humor, the sex comedy again, right?
Yeah.
And we had a lot of generic stuff,
Right. And American Pie was fine. It was okay.
Right.
Something About Mary, I get it. I get why it was popular. It had a lot of moments people can go to see. Couples.
Right.
But it's nothing that I'm going to go rushing. If I'm seeing scrolling, on the TV, I'm not going to stop.
Totally.
And go for it. So it really is a blur, 2000s.
So here's a couple that I picked out from the 2000s that I feel, and that's what the only thing is a lot of these aren't available as far as free streaming goes, but I really like Mike Judge Idiocracy because we're kind of living it now.
That was underrated, yes. I remember that movie.
Like that's a very underrated movie. And then the spoof of like Meatballs and 80s camp movies, Wet Hot American Summer, the original one.
The original.
I think that's a super slept on movie. That's available to rent on Amazon Prime.
Right. So I just got a question here on IG Live. We mentioned Crackle earlier.
Yes.
Sony's famed streaming service.
Yes. Is the one that nobody knows about. Named after a candy bar.
Right. Is there anything worth watching on Crackle? Is there
So Crackle has all of has Ghostbusters. It has a lot of the classic Columbia Pictures. So think of Columbia Pictures TriStar movies, Stripes, a lot of those Groundhog Day, a lot of those classic ones that Bill Murray did with Columbia Pictures and stuff. A lot of those movies are on Crackle.
Okay.
The thing with Crackle, again, it's like Hulu. You got to watch it with commercials.
Oh, okay.
Or you have to pay premium to not watch them with commercials.
Got it. Okay, so Hulu, you watching a movie on Hulu, there's commercials as well? Because I know that
I pay the extra $3 a month, whatever, for no commercials on Hulu for myself.
Okay, but they would put commercials and they stick them in the movie.
Normally Hulu has commercials.
Oh, okay. All right. That's
So but free movies from the 2000s. I'll
Yeah.
just throw them out. You can tell me if you think these suck or not. But
Yeah. What we got?
what about Orange County, man? Do you like Orange County with?
Okay. Good.
I think
Good
it's a.
pick here.
Okay.
It's either people get it or they don't.
I
It's
dig that movie, man.
a lot of people they give mixed reviews on this, and I ask people, do you like it? And people say they don't get it, but then some people love it. So I really don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I
thought
agree.
It was really good. It really showcased what Orange County really was. Even though we've never lived there, we kind of get it. And, you know, Chevy Chase is in there. Hal Ramis in there.
Yeah, you got John Lithgow in there. You got Catherine O'Hara in there.
Kevin
Jack
Kline
Black
is in there. I mean, they got a huge cast. It's Tom Hanks' son.
Colin Hanks.
So once again, go back to Tom Hanks. I liked it. I recommend it if it's free.
Yeah. And then I think two ones that I've kind of debated with people on that are on Netflix right now. Ivan Reitman's Evolution with Duchovny and Orlando Jones.
That I did not see.
Okay. I would be curious for you to watch that. I don't know if people think that movie's garbage, but I think it's pretty entertaining.
Okay.
He was trying to do a sci-fi Ghostbusters. He was trying to do Ghostbusters with Duchovny.
Okay.
But with aliens.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, Kale on the chat here. He remembers Orange County. Come my baby, my baby.
They were playing Crazy Town.
Crazy Town, right? They always would love that song, and except them, they hated it. Yes, I got it.
That's right. And then another movie that I've kind of argued with people about, and this is a movie that I thought you would like because you like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and kind of weird movies. Hot Rod with Andy Samberg.
Oh, okay. I remember it, but I didn't see it.
Okay.
Is that worth it?
So
checking out?
it's very modeled off of like a Pee-wee's template of where it's kind of skits and moments kind of cut into a film.
A wacky movie. Okay.
I would be curious to see you watch that and see what you think.
All right, so I got that. I got Fanatic. What a double feature. What a night I'm having. That and Shots.
And I know we're hitting our 30-minute time limit. We don't want to bore people, but I'll just give some last minute recommendations here, unless we have some other comments.
DJ Drama with Fish Called Wanda.
Nice.
Pleasure. That's a good one. Trailer Park Boys, the movie. I have not seen that.
Yeah, that's a big cult thing in Canada.
Okay.
It's a Canadian TV series, and then they turned it into like movies. So it's basically about Canadian hicks.
Well, that's always fun, huh? And
right.
Bad Santa was also mentioned.
Which one?
Bad Santa.
Oh, Bad Santa's really great. Yes.
One, right. Paranormal Activities, the marked ones. I like that tale with that. Is
that the unintentional comedy one?
That was pretty bad. I remember that one.
Is that the one where it's like the Latin kids? It's like the Hispanic kids?
I think so. It's not the one where
it's like the brother and sister in the barrio?
It's the third one. It's the fourth one, I think. So, yeah.
Haunted Barrio?
The Haunted Barrio with Mario Lopez probably showing up waving. Yeah.
Haunted Mario Barrio?
Yeah, Mario Barrio boys. This is how we roll with Mario Lopez. Yes, kid. Hispanic one.
All right. And I just have a couple ones now from the 2010s.
Yeah.
Shout out to a guy that me and you met together at Pig and the Lady, Taika Waititi.
Hey, there he is. Yeah.
Super cool guy.
Yep.
His movie Hunt for the Wilder People is streaming on Hulu now. Highly recommend people go check that out.
I did not know that one.
Kind of a coming of age movie.
Okay.
About a kid. It's the boy from Deadpool 2, who is the New Zealand kid who is Deadpool's sidekick.
Movie. Okay, got it.
Right. I think his name is Julian something maybe, but I can't remember his name. But great movie. He goes to live with Sam Neill in the wilderness.
Who makes breakfast? Yeah.
Right.
That's a good to live with Sam Neill.
And another one that I feel is underrated on Netflix right now is Goon. It's a hockey movie with Sean William Scott.
Oh, really? I did not know this one. Sean William Scott is a hockey player?
As a hockey player who's like a dumb guy, but is like the best fighter. So
his roles in every movie?
He just plays this really lovable dumb guy who just is great at beating people up. And he can't skate, but they recruit him to basically be the goon or the enforcer on a hockey team.
Got it.
So if you like Slapshot from the 70s with you don't like Slapshot?
I remember that. Yeah, I'm not watching that again, but yeah, I remember that.
But Goon is awesome, and it's like brutally violent and
Okay, I'll check that out.
it's the bad guy. His arch nemesis is Liev Schreiber. I don't know
Wow.
if that does anything for you,
I
but
haven't heard from him in a while. Good to see him working.
yeah,
What
he's doing. Doesn't he do all the voiceover for the NFL footage?
I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
All the NFL, like it was a cold day in Cleveland. He does all that. Yeah.
Really? Okay, I didn't know because I remember there was another guy that did it for a long time. He passed away.
Yeah, Liev took over after that guy, Maki.
Wow. Oh, Static says Goon is dope. All right.
Yo, so I'd say definitely check out Goon. And another one that I felt didn't get its due, or a lot of people didn't watch it, was the Seth Rogen, James Franco, The Interview with Kim Jong Un.
Yeah, was that good?
Go check it out, man. It has some really funny moments.
All right.
I thought that the controversy behind it, people just kind of like said, I don't need to check that out. And I think it's definitely worth watching.
Okay, I'll check that out because I remember that the controversy. I remember the whole thing, that the hoopla.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess the last one would be The Disaster Artist. I still want to promote.
Oh, that's an excellent movie. Yeah, excellent.
I want people to watch that.
Franco is a genius at what he does. It's too bad he's in hiding now from that whole sexual harassment shit.
That's right.
Because he's been in hiding ever since that. That's why he didn't win that
He's
Oscar.
probably thankful for Corona because he can hide out and people aren't talking about him now.
Everybody that's got problems is thankful for Corona right now because there's no one talking about him. No one's talking about him. Weinstein is the only one that they're talking about. Corona and Weinstein. But yeah, Franco's okay. Are these movies on Netflix or on Prime?
So Goon is on Netflix.
Okay.
The Interview is on Netflix. Dolomite Is My Name is on Netflix. The Disaster Artist is free on Amazon Prime. Hunt for the Wilder People is on Hulu.
Yeah.
So check all those out. And then one last one before we get out here. We always talk about depression. There's a documentary on Amazon Prime called Misery Loves Comedy. Have you heard of this?
No. Okay.
So it's a documentary by actor Kevin Pollak.
All right, man.
And he interviews stand-up comedians with the correlation of depression equaling comedy. Does misery equal the best comedy?
Oh, got it. Okay. That's always been a formula.
And it's definitely worth checking out if you're into stand-up and you're into the process of stand-up. I think it's dope. And that's on Amazon Prime for free.
Okay. Got it.
Yep.
Kevin Pollak was the man of a lot of impersonations, right?
Yes.
His William Shatner is the best by far. Anybody? We're going full on
who does a better walk-in, Christopher Walken, him or Jay Moore?
Jay Moore got a good one. I don't know. I always look at Pollak with Shatner. I always
yeah. Pollak does a great Shatner. I agree.
Go figure.
Any recommendations from you? Did you have anything?
Well, I've been just watching the first episode of Tiger King, and and I'm probably gonna go watch Nightmare City again. That's what Honolulu's looking at right now. I haven't really been watching comedy, so that's why this is good. Because then I get now some comedy stuff. Because I like watching horror movies, right? So this is good.
So one more thing that I want to mention that you actually turned me on to, that I was going back and watching old Mystery Science Theater 3000s, which are awesome. And Amazon Prime has Riff Tracks, which is the new version.
Yes.
It's the guys from the old Mystery Science, the old writers.
Yes.
So if you guys like bad movies, you like people talking shit during bad movies, all the Riff Tracks movies are on Amazon Prime.
That's true. That's a good way we should end this out because those guys are brilliant and you can find a really lot of obscure, weird, you never thought movies on there.
I would say for any of the guys out there, they never watched Riff Tracks before. I think the best one to start with. You may have your own, but for me, I recommend Samurai Cop. Samurai Cop's
a great one.
It's a great one to start with.
Cool as Ice.
Cool as Ice is good.
Job on. They even do Night of the Living Dead, which I never could think somebody could riff that one and take it down.
Right.
They took it down, and it was great.
And they did Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth.
Stone Cold Brian Bosworth. We can't forget Radical Jack.
Radical Jack.
Hillary Cyrus as Radical Jack.
That's right.
There's a ton of them. But yeah, that Amazon Prime, I got to say, to sum it up, Amazon Prime for the win.
Yeah.
As far as content, right? Nobody
it's unreal. Like I've been stuck on Amazon Prime the most for digging up old movies than any other thing.
And they got new stuff too. Like you're gonna find like the show The Boys is an Amazon Prime.
And Amazon Prime has all of the old HBO shows right now. So you can watch all the old classic comedies from HBO, at least the first 1 to 3 seasons on Amazon Prime.
I've seen
Yep.
Gary Shandling show on there. They
Yep.
got Dream On.
Larry Sanders.
on
Yep.
there.
Larry Sanders is on there.
Yeah, Gary Shandling is. They actually have that on there too, but that's not HBO show. But they got they got Kids in the Hall on there.
There's good stuff, man.
So
Big time.
Amazon Prime, before take a break from everyone masturbating. Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Overall, you okay over there, man? Everything all right with you? Before we get
yeah, I've been telling you, I've been by myself for the last 2 weeks.
Oh.
I mean, I've been working. Hey, I'm grateful. I'm working 3 days a week.
All
so
right.
I see a handful of people out on the road. But other than that, like coming home, you know, it's the isolation nation, right? It's
right. We just gotta hang in there, and that's all we really can do at this point. We have.
But I want to give you a shout out and give you props for doing these live IG, man. They've been very entertaining, and I've been enjoying them.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Just trying to entertain people somehow, and we're all at home. You know, we're all in this shit together. And
that's right.
And yeah, so before we get out of here tomorrow, we got Jimmy Taco.
Yeah.
Might as well have Jimmy Taco on. We got Rob DeMello. We got Qualify. Just Bone will be on with Qualify. I don't know why. And then we have Ozna Friday. We got Kyle Rutner is next week Monday.
That's right.
I don't want to do these on the weekend. I'm just too tired at this point.
Nah, man.
We have Local MILF. She's gonna be there. She's gonna be possibly dancing with some women.
Cool.
Yeah, she said. And it's just gonna keep this going. I'm just gonna.
You got a tip via Venmo or something? I'm
gonna have to donate something at this point if I'm gonna have like 4 weeks dancing on this stuff. So yeah, uploading this tonight, YouTube. Thank you everyone for being on here. People are still on here, and thank you guys.
Well, I wanted to see if anybody else is gonna mention any other movies that they want to recommend, but I didn't know if anybody else out there wanted to throw out some other recommendations.
Well, like Static just mentioned, Taxi's on Amazon to watch.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that. I'm gonna put that on my watch list.
Right, DJ Drama saying Apple TV. He's a fan of Apple TV. He's a fan of the Jason Momoa series. I haven't seen any Apple TV anything, so I can't say.
Yeah, I don't. Do you have to have an Apple TV, or you just download it to your phone, or what do you do?
I'm gonna say you're probably gonna have to have an Apple TV, right? I don't know. That's a good question.
Drama. Let us know, Drama.
Drama, let us know. I know you're probably just making music right now. And then we got the Goon. A lot of people requested the Goon. Paranormal Activities. Thank you, Kale, for that one.
Paranormal Activity. The unintentional comedy.
Unintentional comedy for the win. All right, I'm gonna go close out. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Still stick around.
Hey, thanks, brother. Thanks, everybody.